It is time for another episode of the Tan and J-Man Show. It's Masters Week. It is National Championship tonight. Fun time to be alive, as they say. How you doing tonight there, Tana man?
Doing good, Jay man. Like you said, it's a fun time. April's a good sports month,
Hmm?
even though like I used to think otherwise, maybe because it's the end of college basketball and I'm not the biggest baseball fan or as big of a fan as I used to be, I should say. But you got the Masters, NFL draft at the
Hmm?
end of the month to round things out, which I need to start working on a mock draft. I have not done a very good job even keeping up with that this year. So yeah, man, spring weather's starting to come around a little bit. So I
Yeah,
need I need a mow.
really? Already there, huh?
I would say with the amount of rain we got in last week,
Yeah.
probably not this week, but maybe next week. The grass is really green and getting pretty tall.
Yeah, it's reaching that time of the year. We have on the forecast. We always talk about the weather because we're
I
old men.
know. I know.
we're we're
It's our
we're old
comfort,
men.
our comfort of the intro.
But yeah, this week it looks like it's supposed to be in the 40s, at least here,
Yeah,
for
here too.
majority of the week, and then by the end of the week in the 60s and
Yep.
potentially 70, and hopefully it'll stay
Stay
right
there.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Sure would be nice.
but yeah, NFL draft only 2 weeks away. It's kind of snuck up on me.
It really has. And I think we kind of know who's going to go number one, but besides that, there's not a lot set in stone. So,
No, and honestly, I haven't done a great job of following it either. I used to be like huge into the NFL draft, and I still am big into it, but I don't really follow the stuff leading up to as much as I used to.
right.
And but once it comes, it'll give us a nice little taste of football, and hopefully our teams can improve from
Yes.
last year.
The NFL's kind of, I mean, it's kind of quiet right now.
Mhm.
But the big clouds, when's Aaron Rodgers going to make up his mind? That's
Yeah,
but I guess he's got no reason to rush the decision
right.
as long as the Steelers are willing to be patient with them. So,
Yeah, it's reached the point where it's like might as well wait till after the draft now.
yeah.
See what's even open out there. But it could be the end of Aaron Rodgers, and you know what I say? Good riddance to the guy if it is the end of him. So
I think one of my bold predictions would, unless he'd retire, but if I had to place a bet right now, I think he'll be Pittsburgh's starter week one.
it seems like that's about the only spot
Yeah,
that he could be. So Rodgers kind of has all the leverage at this point because he's
sure
like, I,
does.
I I could sit the year out even if you don't pay me what I want. I'm sure he's going to want a massive, at least maybe it'd probably only be a 1 year deal, I imagine, but I bet he'll want 30 plus 40 million, which would be absurd for a guy like that.
In Pittsburgh, what are they going to do? Otherwise, it's either Mason Rudolph or draft somebody.
Yeah, and they never pick in a great spot in the draft to take a quarterback. They're usually like 16 to 24th in the draft, feels like, and I assume that's where they are this year too. They make the playoffs.
Yes.
That's what I thought. So they're probably picking 19th or 20th, I imagine, or near there, which is not a great spot to pick a quarterback, especially in a in a draft where it doesn't seem like it's a great quarterback draft on the surface as far as depth goes. Maybe the top end guys are pretty good, but the depth is where you worry. And honestly, outside of like Lamar Jackson, when's the last time we've seen a really good quarterback taken in the first round that was not in the top 10, really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good. Well, I mean, it still might maybe a little early, but Bo Nix wasn't in top 10.
He's got to play a few
He's
years
not
before
Lamar
I.
level, but
No, but I mean,
that's fair.
I'm thinking of guys that have been in the league at least 5 years, more so than
Okay. Yeah, you
rookies
got a
or
point.
and I mean, Bo Nix, in my opinion, is pretty much just you know, Mac Jones like, and let's see who's the other guy that somebody compared him to on Twitter last year. It
Uh,
was Mac Jones, I remember.
yeah. Oh man, I don't remember.
There was somebody else that kind of was like a Mac Jones type, but I can't remember who that is either.
I
But
can't. Yeah.
so
Yeah, good stuff. But I did bring birdie or bogey with me this evening. I thought, tonight's national championship game, so it'd be fitting to wrap up with one more birdie or bogey college basketball themed birdie or bogey. Now I got to find my question here. Who is the oldest coach to win a championship in men's college basketball?
I have no idea. Oldest coach. How old's Kelvin Sampson? He's got to be close to 70, right?
Yeah, let's see here. He's definitely in his upper 60s. Let's see what good old snake oil Samsonite. 69. He'll be 70 in
All
October.
right, so he will be 70 this year. I literally just saw before we got on the show, it was on Twitter. It was he has a clause in his contract that he can name a coach in waiting, and it's likely be his son Kellen, which there haven't been too many sons following their dads that have been overly successful in both either college football or college basketball at this point.
No.
The last coach in waiting, I would say, that has been successful was John Shire, regardless of how that game ended. But oldest coach to win a national title, I have no clue. Birdie or Bogey is brought to you by Arlington Public House. Great food, casual atmosphere, located 703 Main Street in Rochester, Indiana.
Yeah, I ate lunch there on Saturday. Well, technically Dreddy's lunch, but in the banquet room at the Arlington, which is always nice. But over the weekend, they had another seafood special. They had fresh swordfish, served over a bed of fluffy white rice, topped with vibrant capers, red peppers, sautéed spinach, and finished with a rich lemon butter sauce. So they'll probably be rounding up here with the next 2 weeks with the seafood specials.
When's the last time you've been fishing?
I think I wasn't even 10 years old, I don't think.
I went a few years ago. I'm embarrassed to admit, but I don't like taking the fish off the hook, and I don't like putting the worm on the hook. So I had my daddy do that for me.
I don't have a problem with the worm, but I'm with you with the fish. Yeah, I don't really like taking it off the hook.
I think I could handle the fish. It's the worm. I don't know. It freaks me out.
I don't have the patience to fish.
I think I could sit there all day and do nothing and fish. It's just all the guts and the touching things that would get me. Nature would get me, but I could, I don't even have to fish. I could just sit on a boat for hours and think and do nothing.
Maybe have a couple cold pops.
Maybe a couple cold pops. But yeah, not a fishing guy.
I like to eat fish though.
I don't even like that. But I was thinking deep sea fish and catch myself a swordfish. But again, wouldn't like it.
I'd pay to see that.
Come on. There's no way.
Stab you right in the neck.
Yeah, the swordfish would flop on the boat and somehow pierce my heart or something, and that'd be the end of the Tan and J-Man show right there.
Yeah, that'd be a heck of a way to go out. Oh man. But let's get right into it. You kind of mentioned it when you're talking about Kelvin Sampson. We know the national championship tonight is between Houston and Florida. Two good teams, 1 seeds, 2 teams who have been two of the better teams overall for a majority of the season, but it's still weird to see that matchup as the national championship matchup. 4th time in our lifetime that Florida's been in the national title. They're 2-1 in the previous 3. First time that Houston has been in our lifetime. I don't know how many times. I know that was their 6th Final Four they had made in school history. I don't know how many times they've been to the title game now. Kelvin Sampson's finally made it. He had never made it to a title game. But man, I mean, great job by Houston defense creating some pressure on the press and the inbounds. But what a choke job by Duke.
Yeah, I didn't even watch it. I was surprised because I went to bed. I checked the score. I think Duke was up 11 with about 10 minutes left. I figured it was over. I still think Duke's probably the best team in the country.
Yep.
But again, you got to play all 40 minutes, and they only made 1 field goal the final 10 minutes of that game. And Cooper Flagg wasn't able to get it done. And Houston, that defense is a bear. I mean, you saw it firsthand just, 10 days ago, 9 days ago. When they turn up that pressure, it's hard to get anything going. And that's one of the best offenses in college basketball that they essentially shut down in Duke. So now Duke, over the past 10 years, has recruited 32 5-stars and have won 0 titles.
That's pretty crazy.
So, and I think this is their best team since their 2015 title team. And I
Yeah.
would even venture to say that this team might even be a little better than that 2015 team
Yep.
with Ja Okafor and Tyus Jones. But yeah, credit Houston. They feel like a team of destiny. They had the moment against Purdue where it seems like a lot of title teams do have that sort of moment. Of course, UConn's team last year just ran through everybody, but we saw it with, a couple years ago, Kansas, when they had to come back from, 15 down at half and the national title game. We saw, but Virginia
Oh
back in
yeah, they're the one that
2019.
comes right to my mind. Yep.
Um,
They should have lost the Elite
that
Eight, should have lost Final Four, should have lost
lost the
championship.
title
Found a
game.
way to win all 3 of them.
Yep. So it feels like Houston's a team of destiny, and Florida's tough though. They can score a ton of points. Walter Clayton Jr. is arguably one of the is arguably, I would say, he's a top 2 guard in the country. Him and Braden Smith, and you could
Yeah.
argue that Clayton could be the best guard in the country, and he has been on an absolute tear in the postseason. But as they did to Braden, they are going to turn up that heat
Sure.
on Clayton. And Braden didn't score against Houston. I think he had 7 points, something like that.
Yeah. 15 assists.
He had 15 assists, only 3 turnovers. So Clayton's more of a scoring guard than Braden is. And he'd scored 31 against Auburn in the semifinal game, and it'll be a fascinating matchup to watch because Houston is old. Florida's pretty old too, though. So seniors die hard, as they say. Actually, they don't say. John Gross used to say that. Seniors die hard, and it'll be fun to watch it play out tonight.
Ray Davis here on Facebook. He's the coach of the Macconaquan girls basketball team. He said Florida by eight or more.
Oh.
So Florida is a 1.5 point favorite tonight. Yeah.
So, it'll be two clash of styles for sure. Yep. Houston's so old and they're athletic, and that pressure is ridiculous, and they block shots and steals, and so if Florida can just take care of the ball, I think they should win, because on paper Florida's probably a little better. But as I said, feels like Houston's team of destiny.
Well, Florida doesn't panic when they get down.
No.
Because it looked like Auburn was in control going into half the other day and even coming out second half, but Florida didn't panic. And Houston didn't panic against Duke either. Yeah. I didn't watch much of the Florida-Auburn game, but I watched pretty much the second half of the Duke-Houston game, pretty full. Yeah, like you said, when you went to sleep, they're up 11. They're up 11 at one point when Mason Gillis got his one bit of run second half. Mason was trying to box out a guy. His elbow got a little high, elbowed him, flagrant foul. That turned into 6 points. And it kind of flipped the momentum in Houston's way, even though Duke would get back up by 9. But just the momentum never really got back in the driver's seat for Duke, which is unfortunate for Mason, and probably how Duke fans will remember him and look at him now, looking back at it. But you look at the different things. Duke was up 6 with 33 seconds left. Yeah. They still had a chance to ice it at the end, up 1. Proctor going to the line. And I didn't realize how poor of a foul shooter he is.
He's a great 3-point shooter.
Yeah. 64% from the line, at least in the tournament, I think it was. And you could tell when he was going to the line, he didn't want any part of it. Clinked off the back of the rim. And then 20 seconds left, they called that foul on the defensive rebound attempt by Cooper Flagg, which I'm like, I don't know if they would have called that at start of second half. I was surprised they called it with 20 seconds left. Houston makes the free throws when they need to. Cooper couldn't hit the little turnaround jumper from 10 to 12 feet, and that was that. So
yeah, I'm going to contradict myself a little bit, because I said, Houston feels like a team of destiny. Florida was down by 9 against Texas Tech with 2 minutes left, came back and won.
True.
And down by 9 in the second half against Auburn. So at the same time, you could say they feel like a team of destiny as well. So 2 teams of destinies kind of coming together here, which will make, hopefully, for a good, entertaining national title game.
Yeah, the Final Four games both were really good
Yeah.
compared to the women's, which were all blowouts.
Yeah. UConn won for the first time since when?
21-22, I believe.
Okay, I thought it was longer
It
ago than
was the
that.
13th in school history. And they just crushed UCLA and crushed South Carolina.
Yeah, which was surprising.
It's a 2 seed.
Yeah, yeah. Paige, how do you pronounce her last name? Beckers?
I call her Buckets because that's her nickname, Paige
Paige
Buckets.
Buckets. It's good
Yeah.
enough for me. Feels like she's been around for 10 years because she pretty much has, because she blew out her knee and missed an entire season. Missed a season and a half essentially. But she turned out to be one of the greatest UConn
Yep.
women's basketball players ever.
Man, that's I'm not a big women's college basketball fan, or don't pay close enough attention to it to have a and Ray's correct me, it's 12th in school history, not 13th seed. I shouldn't say I'm not a big fan. I don't pay close enough attention to really have too many opinions when it comes to legends of the game. But you talk about a program, it would be tough to categorize their legends into a Mount Rushmore. Would be UConn women's
It'd
basketball.
be almost impossible. I
Yeah.
mean, you got obviously Diana Taurasi, you have Maya Moore, you
Sue
have
Bird.
Sue Bird, Paige, so many others that I'm forgetting. Brianna Stewart, and I'm sure there's countless others that I can't even think of
And their
right
head
now.
coach has to be first on the mountain
He's got to
himself.
be on the mount too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it that might be the hardest Mount Rushmore to decipher out of any maybe sports franchise, even pro or college.
Yeah, that'd be a good discussion someday. Thinking of others,
Yeah,
that'd be tough. Yankees would be tough. Never down to 4.
I
Lakers,
think I think I could do the Yankees pretty easily.
really? Who?
Oh yeah, Ruth Gehrig. Um, I'm trying to think of all the players that have ever played for the Yankees.
I mean, you got Mantle, Jeter, Rivera.
Ruth Gehrig, Mantle, DiMaggio.
Okay,
Send it in.
okay.
I wouldn't even put Jeter in the top 30.
Indy football might be tough because it goes back so
Yeah.
ways. Lakers would be tough, I think.
Magic, Kareem, George Mikan.
George Mikan over Shaq.
I'd take George Mikan over Shaq on the.
Well,
I mean,
you're not gonna leave Kobe off, are you?
no, I'm gonna put Kobe there on the
Yeah,
fourth.
but you're not gonna put LeBron up there.
I'm just thinking of like their career with the Lakers.
Okay. Well, LeBron's got a title with the Lakers.
He does. He hasn't been there that long though.
Yeah.
He hasn't been there long enough, in my opinion. He has one title, and he's also missed the playoffs a few times too. And
Yeah.
it was a bubble title, so every
Yes, it
title
was.
that year, in my opinion, gets an asterisk.
No Jerry West.
I guess that's a tough one. He is the logo.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be an interesting podcast. Go through and do a lot of different Mount Rushmores.
Well, summer's coming, so
we need some filler content.
yeah,
So, yes.
yeah.
But circling back to college basketball, yeah, golf would be a tough one. Like Ray said, yeah, because everybody's got their own opinions.
Yeah.
You're always going to leave somebody good off. Yeah, so this last game of the season, the Crown Championship was won by Nebraska yesterday over Central Florida, which the Crown was better than the NIT, a little more.
The NIT, in my opinion, was better. Did you see the title game of the NIT?
I didn't watch any of it.
I only saw the highlights. It was between Chattanooga and some other mid-major. Oh, shoot. Anyway.
Well, wasn't your wife's alma mater in the NIT or the CBI?
Couldn't tell you.
I think they were in the championship or something.
She didn't tune in other words.
Let me find
Chattanooga, who was in the NIT? That makes me mad. The final was 1 point. Was the final. I think it was 84-83 or 85-84, something like that. Chattanooga was in it, I know for a fact. It was, well, maybe if I can find it. Was it North Texas in Chattanooga?
Of course it was North Texas.
No, it wasn't North Texas. I think it was the NIT. I don't know why it's not giving me a good. I don't know.
I think Illinois State was in the CBI.
Couldn't tell you.
They were in the CBI. I'm pretty sure they made the title game.
NIT championship. Now I'm curious to this. Who was in the? It was in Indianapolis this
Sheldon
year.
Coleman said UC Irvine.
Okay, that makes sense. Cause yeah. It was UC Irvine, Chattanooga. Cause UC Irvine was right on that bubble. And I don't even know why I brought this up because I don't know the I don't know the specifics. All I know is I think they threw it the length of the court and they laid it in as time expired. Whoever won, Chattanooga or UC Irvine. I'm pretty sure it was Chattanooga that won. It was Chattanooga. Yeah, 85-84 in OT.
I
Don't
guess
care.
what I was trying to say about the crown was the tournament itself was more intriguing than NIT. I want to talk about the final.
I also disagree with you because you had a bunch of crap high majors in the crown.
But
We
they're
we
playing
just
for money, so
we
the players are playing hard.
that makes yeah, but everyone was transferring at that point. You probably had 8 players on a roster. The NIT, at least it's mid majors that just missed the tourney. These UC Irvine won like 32 games this year. Chattanooga won almost 30 games, so that's why I think it was more real barn burner. Thanks, Sheldon.
Yeah, but they probably have guys transferring too.
They probably do, but
NIT.
I'd rather watch a 30-win UC Irvine than a 17-win Butler or 15-win 15. I probably gave him too many wins, didn't
Yeah,
I?
you did. Yeah.
15-win Butler and a
Yeah, there you go.
17-win Nebraska.
All right.
In
Fair.
my opinion, I'll be honest. I'm not going to watch either of them because I don't
Yep.
care. So
Right.
I don't even know why we
Right.
talk about this. Thanks,
Well,
Tanner, for bringing it
yeah,
up.
I got you fired up. That
You
was my
did.
goal tonight.
You
How am I
did.
going to get J-Man fired up tonight? Bring up the crown.
Connor Esijan. That's the Nebraska guy.
Yes, and for everybody listening to the podcast, for context, there, Ray Davis on Facebook asked, Nebraska being led in scoring by a Indiana high school player and transfer from Wisconsin. Name him, and
Yeah,
J-Man just did.
Connor Esijan. I think he had 20 in that game off the bench. He's a good shooter.
Sheldon must have watched the NIT championship because he said a guy missed a literal
It was
layup.
the exact opposite of what I said because now I remember they had to throw it the length of the court. They were down 1 and the guy biffed uncontested layup. So
Boo!
I almost was there. I knew it was a barn burner. I knew it was something with uncontested layup.
We are awesome at this.
Yeah, I'm never watching the NIT. I'd struggle to watch the Crown if Illinois was in it. If Illinois is ever in,
I was thinking the
NCAA
same of
tournament.
Purdue the other day, to be honest.
Yeah, I hope now that Illinois has won a little bit here the past 6 seasons or so that they would just say, I'm okay.
Yeah, Indiana does every 3 years.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Josh's train of thoughts on the subject. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. That's so it was kind of the Michael Scott where sometimes I start a sentence and hope to find it along the way sort of deal.
That's my everyday life. So I really
never got there today.
Yeah,
so
close.
So close.
Transfer portal though still going hot and heavy.
Huh?
I think the window ends on the 22nd. I believe. Both Purdue and Illinois have been affected by the transfer portal. Purdue lost Miles Colvin first went into the portal, followed by Camden Heide. Camden Heide announced where he was going first by announcing Friday he was going to Texas. Miles Colvin announced today he's going to Wake Forest. So interesting fits for both. Staying in the Power Four, both of them.
I think Colvin will be able to put up a lot of shots at Wake Forest.
I think that's what he's looking for.
And I think, it seems like that would be what he's looking for. And Heide, good bench guy for sure. I don't think he'll start for him or anything, but good athlete, can shoot it a little bit.
Definitely goes from a coach who runs things a certain way to a coach who runs things a different certain way. From Matt Painter to Sean Miller. So we'll say it like that. But I'll be interested to follow those guys, and I hope they both do well. I have no hard feelings to either one of them. I don't think Purdue will lose anybody else to the portal, I should say. I do think Braden Smith will put his name into the NBA Combine to see where he stands.
Mm-hmm.
And unless he somehow finds out he's a guaranteed first rounder, I expect him back at Purdue.
Yeah.
So
Last I heard on Braden was, I think it was Sam Vicini. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. Had him, which he's kind of one of the top guys, as far as like I follow when it comes to the NBA, and he had Braden slotted like in 35th to 45th
yeah,
pick.
I'd come back to college and
Um,
get that money.
yeah, which those guys get guaranteed contracts there, but they're not going to make as much as he would at Purdue probably next
Yeah,
season,
yeah.
or anywhere in
I think
college.
he made a little north of $1 million this year. So
Yeah, which I think that's be about what he makes as a guaranteed sort of deal in that range of the second round. So I think he'd be smart to come back.
Sean Shriver on Facebook. Who do you think will seek Heidi?
That's
Good joke there.
it's a classic Sean joke there.
He got sought by Texas. So is that the right sought? Seek sought?
Hide and seek.
Sought?
He was found
By Texas? There you go.
I
don't know. Ray on Facebook. Now there is a transfer portal in Indiana high school athletics. One-time transfer, no question, goes into effect June 1st. Yeah, and he says coaches still can't influence though.
They can't, but I'm sure.
And I guess my question to Ray is, especially I think we've talked about this either on the podcast or outside the podcast. Like, I guess if they get caught, they get in trouble. But what's stopping a college coach or especially in football, like a college offensive coordinator, if they can get a quarterback and a wide receiver, say from the state of Indiana at different schools, what's to stop them from saying, hey, you should go play the same school so you can develop that chemistry before you even step on foot in the campus in the fall?
Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen.
I don't know. It's interesting. It's a wild time we live in. Wild
Yeah.
times anymore where
So much gray area.
transfer window one time in high school sports.
Yep.
Crazy. It's crazy. But Illinois has been affected by the portal a little bit too.
Yeah. Marez Johnson was the big one. I wish him nothing but the worst, honestly. The way
Because he went to Michigan.
Well, the way he handled it on the way out was poor. His dad said some things that were stupid. Trey White going to Kansas, best of luck to him. He'll be a bench guy there. He supposedly wanted the ball in his hands a lot next season. That just wasn't going to happen. And then Dre Gibbs Lawhorn, he handled it very classy on his way out. Thanked the coaches, thanked the fans, showed up at an elementary school that same day to do an appearance. He said, this is the best thing for my career, but I'll be forever indebted to Illinois Nation, stuff like that. So I'm wishing him well because he seems like a really good kid with a crazy mother.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't think he's the problem in that circle.
Illinois lose anyone else? They lost a.
Do you expect anybody to go pro?
KJ's gone. Like, he hasn't announced it yet. I imagine Will Riley will put his name into the draft just to see where he is. But there is buzz that Illinois could get a second year of Will Riley, which would be awesome. I would be pumped to see second year Will Riley to see how he plays because he was really good at the end of the year. But a V6 back that picked up a V6 twin brother, Zyamir or something like that. From Arkansas. And then sounds like they're going to go the European route for another guy, power forward, who I cannot wait until Brad Underwood compares him to Jokic, because he will. He's 6'9", 250.
Best basketball player in the world.
Can shoot it, can pass it, but Brad will compare him to Jokic. He compared Mark Smith to Darren Williams, and he compared.
Needs to stop that.
I know. It's a running joke on the Illinois message boards of who's he going to compare this guy to, and then he compared Andre Curbelo to Steve Nash. So
you can be very good players without needing the pressure of those comparisons.
So hopefully Illinois doesn't go the NAIA route again. Like they did with Ben Hummerkaus, which he might be a guy that leaves, I think they'll have an honest conversation with him and try to lessen that price tag of what they got him. But again, I thought he played very well in his role. They just needed him to be a lot more early in the season with his ability to shoot and other things like that. But once he started coming off the bench, he was perfect, playing 10 to 15 minutes. That's seems about where he should be. And again, he seems like a good guy too. But yeah, I'm sure they'll pick up a few more guys in the portal. And, one thing I will always do is give Brad Underwood the benefit of the doubt because year in, year out, they'll be about the same. Good, compete for a Big Ten title, make the NCAA tourney. So I'm not, just tell me what the roster is November 1st and we'll go from there.
Sean Shriver here says, Tanner, I thought you'd make an off the Cluff remark about Purdue's new portal pickup. Yes, yeah. Oscar Cluff, big man from South Dakota State. Previously, before there, he was at Washington State. He's got 1 year of eligibility, maybe 2, because the JUCO rules are so weird now.
Yeah, it's weird.
But they're let's be honest, they're paying him for 1 year.
Yeah,
paying him a good sum of money. They got him over Iowa State. He should be their starting center with Daniel Jacobson as the backup. So I feel a lot better about the front end, and Trey Covender will move back to the 4. Feel a lot better about their front line than I did just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it looks like Matt's going to fill another spot or 2 with some European guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. European. I mean, I think it's starting to be the way to go because, Gonzaga did it for years. And no one else really did it, but now it's starting to become more popular. And those guys are so skilled over there.
Yep.
And Illinois was benefited greatly by foreigners this year. So, and with Oscar Cluff, one thing Purdue needed to do better, and I think every Purdue fan can agree, they needed to rebound better this past season. And Cluff averaged around 11 rebounds a game last year.
Yeah, I think a little north of 12, and of course, he was playing lower competition, the Summit, but when he did play Alabama, he went for 21 and 13 against them. So, yeah, and just to have a guy, I mean, he's not a huge shot blocker, but just to have a guy around the rim to make people even alter their shots.
Yeah.
That's big because Purdue didn't have that this year. So,
can he shoot the 3 ball at all?
He's a good free throw shooter, but I don't think he can shoot the 3 ball. Now, Daniel Jacobson can.
Oh, interesting.
Just didn't really get to see much of it since he only played 2 games before he
it'll be interesting to see how TKR and Cluff coexist with neither of them being 3-point shooters. I know I'm sure both can hit them, but you don't want them taking them a ton.
Right. Ray asks, Edwards recruiting for paint. I don't know about that. He's ripping it up over in Europe right now. But I do know the big European influence has been Sasha Stevanovic, who's a GA for him, or he might even have an elevator role now. He's got connections over there in Europe. So yeah, he's really helped in that aspect. So yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see all the transactions, the movement, and the portal.
Yeah. And especially with the new thing with what is it? Where they can share the wealth.
That's happened today.
Revenue sharing.
Yeah.
How that will affect NIL and all of that, because I think it might start putting caps on NIL, which could help.
Yep.
Could help even things out again because they need something.
I think Purdue, for instance, I think the 4 programs will get a majority of the money: football, men's basketball, women's basketball, volleyball.
Yeah,
and I don't know about Illinois, but I know in Iowa, you probably subtract one of those and substitute with wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say obviously the top 2 for all of them is going to be basketball and football.
Sure.
And then I would say women's basketball, and then
volleyball.
Volleyball's pretty good. Baseball's okay. Maybe golf. I don't know.
Golf's pretty good, but I don't know how much. I don't know how that NIL works.
I don't either.
Golf. I have our buddy Andrew Eiler on.
Yeah, I can't imagine NIL is huge for.
Sheldon Coleman being the researcher of the pod. Appreciate him tuning in tonight. Cluff went 4 for 6 or 5 for 7 for threes. Gonna make it rain.
Yeah, that's a pretty good percentage. Low volume, but good percentage.
Yeah,
at least he can make enough to at least have them respect him from out there.
Yeah.
That's all you really need.
Yeah. I'll never forget Nankiville for Wisconsin coming to the Mackey one time, going 5 for 5. Never made one in his career till tonight. Beating
Uh,
McIlroy.
there were a couple. Illinois got burned a bunch this year by sagging off guys. There was a guy for I think it was AG. I don't remember if that was him from USC. He had made 4 on the season, and he ended up making 3 in the first half against them, and it changed their defense. They panicked, and Brad went to a more traditional defense that he used to run. And they just killed him. And then in the tourney game, Swain, who's now I think he followed Miller to Texas. He had made 3 on the season. He hit 4 or 5 that game.
Yeah.
Because they just sagged off. Now,
Well,
I think he was 5 for 12 or something like that,
yeah.
which is a good percentage, but you're okay with him taking those.
It's like the dude for Houston. I keep forgetting his name, number 7, the guard. His season high was 40 at 6 against
Yeah.
Purdue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Acer?
Acer?
Yeah, Uzar, I don't, something like that. Yeah.
Uze?
Yeah, so I don't.
Uzar?
It's Monday tonight.
Peak Monday.
Definitely feels like a Monday. It's always a
Yes,
Monday
it
when we
is.
do this, but definitely feels like a Monday today. It is the first Monday of April. Maybe that's
Maybe.
that's what's going on.
Who are you taking in the national title game? We've talked for 36 minutes. We haven't even made.
I want Florida to win because I do not like Kelvin Sampson.
I don't
It's not even that much what he did in here. I just think he's a jerk. Heck of a coach, but I just think he's a jerk. Want Florida to win, but I think Houston wins by, I'll go 82-75.
Yeah, if Houston scores 82 points, I think they win.
Yeah.
Give me Florida, though, just to be different. I think their guard play could be the difference. Yeah, I just think Florida's a little better, but again, Houston plays such tough defense and they rebound, and it's clash of styles that I'm excited to watch. So give me Florida, though.
When do we have a conversation about Florida being a basketball school instead of a football school?
Now, yeah, because I don't know if Florida football is going to be any good this upcoming season. They need to turn things around quick.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy. Kind of how they've fallen off for their expectations.
Yeah. Todd Golden, next hot name in college basketball. He was good at San Francisco too. He's still a young guy, but now obviously he knows what he's doing.
Yep. Yes, he does. So, well, you want to get educated?
Let's do it.
Talk about some sporting events that have happened on this day on April 7th, and I need to put the banner up. There we go. All right. Oh. Wow. On this day, 1928, 44-year-old New York Ranger GM Lester Patrick replaces his injured goaltender in a Stanley Cup game and beats the Montreal Maroons 2-1 in overtime. The Rangers go on to win the series 3-2.
44 years old.
Wow. On this day, 1943, the NFL adopted the free substitution rule. Helmets were made mandatory, and a 10-game schedule for all teams was approved. On this day, there's a lot of Masters today. Kind of wish I would have been on the receiving end of this one today. Who won the 15th U.S. Masters tournament on this day in 1951?
Sam Snead.
Good guess. Ben Hogan won his first of 2 Masters titles. On this day in 1956, I was just talking to somebody about this on Friday. The 10th NBA championship was held. Despite 30 points from Pistons forward George Yardley, the Philadelphia Warriors beat the Fort Wayne Pistons 99-88. The Warriors wrapped up the series 4-1. Honest to God, at dinner Friday night, I was talking about that game with somebody. Well, somebody's talking to me about it.
I was wondering why you were talking about the 56 finals, but the Fort Wayne thing makes sense.
Yes. On this day, 1963, who won the 27th Masters tournament?
Jack
Nicklaus won his first of his record 6 green jackets. On this day, 1963, public stock offering of 115,000 shares in the Milwaukee Braves was withdrawn after only 13,000 shares were sold to 1,600 new investors. On this day, 1969, Dodgers' Bill Singer was credited with the first official save against the Cincinnati Reds. On this day, 1970, the MLB's Milwaukee Brewers, formerly Seattle Pilots, played their first game. They lost to the Angels 12-0. On this day, 1977, the Toronto Blue Jays had their first game. They beat Chicago. It says, I assume the White Sox,
Yeah.
9-5. Yeah, because interleague play hadn't started back then, right?
No, nope. Didn't start till 98, I think. It's been a while.
On this day, 1979, Houston Astro Ken Force no-hit the Atlanta Braves 6-0, becoming, with his brother Bob Force, the only MLB siblings to accomplish the feat.
Huh, I wonder if it's been done since. I don't think so.
The Weaver boys didn't do it, right? Only one of them.
I can't imagine Jared or
Yeah.
Jeff Weaver
Yeah.
no hit anyone.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Jared was
Yeah.
good. I was also thinking of the knuckleballer. I got nothing today. I got nothing. Absolutely nothing.
What team? What team? The knuckleballer.
The Necro Bros. If they're even brothers at this point, I don't even know if they're brothers, and I assume they were Joe and Phil.
Yeah, and it's a unique last name.
Yeah, I don't even know if both of them were pitchers today.
This is an all-time classic podcast episode. Got some crickets. A lot of seniors golf because Jack was on the senior tour. What is this? Oh, man. Okay. On this day in 2003, who won the 65th NCAA men's basketball championship?
2003, that would have been Syracuse.
Yeah, Syracuse beat Kansas 81-78. The then known as the Orangemen won their first title, and Carmelo was named most outstanding player.
Yeah.
On this day in 2008, who won the 70th NCAA men's basketball championship?
2008 was the Kansas Jayhawks over the Memphis Tigers.
Yes, they won 75-68. First time since seeding began. All four top seeds advanced to the Final Four. That happened again this year, of course.
Talk about missed free throws.
Yeah. On this day in 2009, who won the 28th NCAA women's basketball championship?
I'm going to go with UConn.
You got it. They beat Louisville 76-54 for their sixth national title. Center Tina Charles was the most outstanding player. On this day in 2014, who won the 76th NCAA men's basketball championship?
2014 was UConn.
UConn beat Kentucky 60-54, becoming the second time a school has won both men's and women's Division I national titles in the same year.
That was the Shabazz year, right? They were like a 7 seed, I think. Yeah.
Yep, and beat a 9 seed Kentucky, 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Who almost won me a lot. Well, they did win me a decent amount of money, but almost won me a lot of money. On this day in 2015, who won the 34th NCAA women's basketball championship?
15. I have a hard time not picking UConn in that one.
It was UConn to beat Notre Dame 63-53. On this day in 2019, who won the 38th NCAA women's basketball championship?
Is that Notre Dame?
Notre Dame lost to Baylor 82-81.
I remember one year, maybe it was like 17, that they had that 3 at the buzzer that won them.
Right. And on this day, 2019, retired NBA legends Dirk Nowitzki and Dwayne Wade played their final home games, both in victories. And Magic Johnson quit as the LA Lakers president of basketball operations. And the Houston Rockets converted an NBA record of 27 three-point field goals in a 149-113 over the Phoenix Suns.
Can't believe they've been out of the league 6 years already.
I know. It doesn't seem like it.
No.
Man. And on this day in 2022, the MLB's Cleveland Guardians lose in their first game under their new name, 3-1 to the Royals in Kansas City. And that's going to do it for this week's edition of the On This Day, which we actually had a decent amount for first time in a while, it feels like. And the On This Day segment is brought to you by, like is every week, Moody Woodcrafts. Moody Woodcrafts is a veteran-owned and operated woodcraft shop based out of Texas with Indiana grassroots. They provide 100% hand-cut custom designs that fit your needs, and their pieces are a great addition to any home, office, or man cave. You can see some of their recently completed projects by visiting them at Moody Woodcrafts on Instagram and on Facebook. And if you let them know the Tina and J-Man Show sent you, you get 15% off your first sign order. I keep saying it. Mother's Day's in a month. Next month in May.
Yeah, it is.
Make the perfect gift for your mom, or if you don't want to get your mom that for Mother's Day, you want to get somebody else in your family, a friend, whoever it may be.
Baby mama.
Sure, why not? Uh, that's wooden signs make a great gift for anybody in any occasion. It'd be cool to have it's Masters Week, have a golf man cave and have Thad create you something Masters themed. There you go.
There you go.
You want to get into Masters talk, or do you have blind rankings for me? Or
my blind ranking is Masters related, so I can wait till after we talk and give our predictions and stuff.
All right. Yes, this is I don't know what edition of the Masters this is this year. It's I think the 89th, I think. That's just off the top of my head. Scotty Scheffler, defending champion. He also won back in 2022. Of course, the big, and he is the favorite, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, he's the favorite. And right behind him is a guy named Rory McIlroy, who has done everything in golf there is to do except win the Masters. He has not won a major since 2014.
Except this year. Except this week, I should say.
But I meant to go back. I really do think the Masters in 2017 would have been the first one that we talked about and we made predictions. I think that started the Rory J-Man's Book of Prediction Week. If not, it was shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
But it's been close to 40 majors now that you've said that this guy's going to win it. He has not won. So the curse is real. With the worst probably being last year's U.S. Open. When he missed 2 putts on the last 3 holes inside of 4 feet.
Yeah, that's when I really started to believe the curse was that there. So, but curses usually don't last forever. But we're gonna find out.
Pulling the trigger?
I'm pulling it.
All right.
Hey, man's book of prediction of the week this week is Rory Masters. Rory McIlroy will win the Masters this year and this week. J-Man's book of prediction of the week brought to you by Travis Watchering Insurance Agency for life, home, auto, business, renters, workers' comp, and farm insurance. Contact Travis 219-869-4561. Book it.
4563, isn't it?
I think I'm right on this one
because
I've don't even remember what I said, but I've been doing it from memory for almost 10 years.
It is 6-1. It is 6-1. Okay.
It just rolls off the tongue.
I looked it up. I just thought it was 6-3 for some reason. Okay.
It wouldn't have surprised me today if it was 6-3.
I think the reason I don't know where I got that 3 from. Never mind.
Oh.
Never mind. But speaking of Rory, you can support our podcast and look great doing so by getting some Tan J-Man Show merch at tanjmanshowstore.com. We have this I'm Taking Rory shirt up there, which you can get in white. And it's not letting me show, or in gray. It's not letting me, there it is. Or in light steel, it's called. Got multiple sizes there, $19.99 before shipping and handling. But you can get that nice Rory McIlroy, I'm Taking Rory, with the state of Georgia on front, Tan J-Man Show logo on the back. So
book it.
I need to make an order. It's been a while. So one of my 25 bold predictions for 2025 was that Victor Hovland was going to win the green jacket this year. Even though he did win a tournament a couple weeks ago, I am not going in that direction now. I'm looking at the betting odds here. Rory's number 2. John Rahm of Live Golf's number 3. Colin Morikawa 4.
Rahm just won a couple years ago, right? 2 years ago, maybe?
Yeah. He has won at Ludwig Abar. He's 18-1. He's a young stud in golf. Hasn't won a major yet, but he probably win many. Xander Schauffele won 2 majors last year. He's up there. Bryson DeChambeau, Live Golf's Bryson DeChambeau, last year's U.S. Open winner. He's up there, of course, with his distance. You can never count him out. Let me see some other guys here in the mix. Justin Thomas, right behind Bryson DeChambeau. Joaquin Niemann, who's also Live Golf. A lot of Live Golf guys up there. Hideki Matsuyama. Brooks Koepka down at 11th favorites. Ooh, man, that's kind of enticing to put something on Brooks there. Jordan Spieth, Tommy Fleetwood, and Shane Lowry. There's Victor Hovland. Let's see where is Phil? Phil's at plus 12,000 odds. He's been playing better, but I don't know if he's got what it takes to be in contention this week. Um, Man, it's crazy. Like Bubba Watson, former two-time Masters champ, he's plus 50,000 odds. Um, but it's good. It should be a fun tournament like it usually is. I am gonna go. I'm gonna go with Ludwig. I think Ludwig gets his first major title, and like I said, I think it's his first of many.
How old is Ludwig?
He's got to be young 20s. Let's see. He's Swedish. He's 25. He'll turn 26 in October. 6'3".
Dang.
Pretty tall for a golfer. So, of course, no Tiger Woods this year's Masters. I don't think we'll see Tiger at all this year compete with his Achilles is blowing out. So, but it's gonna be a fun tournament. I think the weather is supposed to be good. Yeah, Fleetwood was about 13th or 14th there. I think on the betting odds. Yeah, he's 13th, right behind Jordan Spieth there. So tied with Shane Lowry, Victor Hovland, and Patrick Cantlay. I should say all names out probably in the mix. So my dad's sleeper. Let me see where I can find him at. It's Corey Connors. He's at 7,500. That's better odds than I thought Corey Connors would have.
Never heard of him.
He wins the tournament the week before the Masters. He seems to quite often. That's why my dad likes to pick him. This year it was Brian Harmon won. Fourth year out of the last 5, my boy Ricky Fowler is not in the Masters.
Time to hang it up.
Which is crazy because 2 of his last 3 appearances in the Masters, he's had top 5 finish.
Yeah.
So he's got to get there. And it's wild. The guy makes 90% of his cuts, but he can't do anything on the weekend.
Yeah.
He just doesn't close on the weekend. And yeah, he's going to have to start doing that soon.
I bet the pressure gets to him a little bit too.
Probably. I mean, he's had a good career, but nowhere near where everybody thought he would, or nowhere near where his career should be, really, to be honest. So,
yeah.
But Masters, one of my favorite weeks. I'm hoping to watch quite a bit of it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So,
blind ranking this week, I have 5 winners this century.
Okay.
So,
what's the criteria for me to rank these?
Overall career.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Starting with Bubba Watson.
Like 2-time Masters champ. He's won a few big other tournaments, but no other majors. I remember in middle school when he came on the scene because he hit a pink driver, hit it longer than anybody on tour, and he liked to just shape the ball over the course. I'm putting Bubba at 4.
Okay.
Almost put him at 5, but I think there'll be somebody else that's behind.
All right. Zach Johnson.
I will put Zach at 3. The only reason I'm putting him over Bubba is he has 2 major titles, 1 Masters and 1 British Open. So, right. Yeah.
Sergio.
Oh, shoot. I'm going to put him at 5 because I cannot put him at 2. His one-time major winner was at the Masters. He's having a good year this year at Live. He's won a couple times. He's playing really well, but good career, but kind of like Ricky, even though he's had a better career than Ricky. But kind of like Ricky, he came on the scene so hot when he was young, going toe-to-toe with Tiger back in the day at the PGA Championship in Medina. Everybody thought, oh my gosh, this guy's the next big thing, and it never really transpired. Good career, but not great career.
Jordan Spieth.
Well, I major-wise, I feel good about putting him at number 2. I mean, he's won 4 majors, I believe. The only one he hadn't won for the Grand Slams is PGA, but his career's really kind of went downhill since his last major victory. But he's talented, so yeah, I'll put him at 2.
Last one here, Dustin Johnson.
Man, there's no clear-cut number 1 on this list.
That's really not.
I'm going with Dustin at number 1, U.S. Open winner, Masters winner. Now plays at Live. He's won there this year, which he needed to because Live does relegate guys. Every year, and he was under the line coming into the year. So good thing he got it going, even though he's the captain of his team. which is kind of weird. Yeah, if I had to re-rank them, knowing now, I think I put Bubba 5, even though he has more majors than Sergio. But Sergio 3, Zach 4, probably Spieth 1, Justin 2, probably. But that's a good list. That was a tough one.
Um, if he would have gotten relegated, would he have just gone back to the PGA?
I don't know. Those rules haven't been stated yet.
Would they have accepted him back in the PGA?
That's a good question too. He might have just retired.
Yeah,
because he's got a lot of money. He doesn't seem. I shouldn't speak. I don't know the guy personally, but he doesn't seem too motivated.
Yeah.
Just plays golf because he's good at it. Type thing. But yeah, and one of my bold predictions for 2025 was that the PGA Tour and Live Golf are going to come to agreement. That took 2 big steps backwards last week. So Liv's proposal to invest into the tour, I think it was $1.2 billion, was denied by the tour because they had 2 clauses that the PGA Tour didn't want. One was for Liv to keep operating as they are. And the other one was for their the CEO of Live Golf to become a co-chair of the PGA Tour.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a no-go for me.
Yep. Too. So we'll see what happens there. It's like I was talking with a good friend of the show, Aaron Lynch. The fans are the ones who suffer from all this because Liv's just going to keep getting guys. They're going to keep throwing out money, and especially if it's somebody who has a couple major victories and is getting a little older, they might think, well, I got these major victories, so I can play in these other majors at least for X amount of years going forward. I'm going to grab money.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wish they could figure out a way to, and they are lightening up a little bit, like I think it's the U.S. Open and the British Open now that Live guys can qualify for it now, go through qualifications and different things. Whereas before they couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
Unless they had previously won and were exempt. So, yeah. But, yep, Masters Week's always fun. It's even a week, I think a lot of non-golf fans even tune in a little bit just to see the beauty of the course or especially when Tiger was in the hunt, he would get a lot of non-golf fan eyeballs on the product, but don't really have that without him. So, yeah. Good blind ranking segment this week. I like that one. And the blind ranking segment is brought to you by, like it is every week, Performer Print 2 Promo Group. If you're looking for a trustworthy, dependable resource for your next trade show, company picnic, or sales meeting, Performer Print 2 Promo Group has over 50 years combined experience in promotional products and commercial print. They strive for fast and efficient response to all your print needs, so you need to look no further. Let them be your one source print and promotional company by giving Barbara Vans Weinsberg a call today at 574-210-3815.
Yeah, I didn't want to put Tiger on there because he would have been a clear-cut 1.
Yes, Phil would have been 2 if Tiger wasn't on there. But
and I didn't want to put Danny Willett on there because he would have been a clear-cut 5. So,
yeah. Willett,
yeah.
Trevor Immelman.
Yeah. I almost put him on there.
There's a couple others. So, yeah. But, all right, birdie or a bogey, J-Man. Who is the oldest men's Division I head coach to win a national title?
2 coaches popped into my brain. Neither are probably correct. I was going back through this century of who won, and it probably didn't even happen this century. But my guess is Jim Calhoun.
You got a birdie, my friend.
Boom.
He was the other one, 68 years old and 329 days when they won in 2011. Now, Sampson can pass him tonight if he wants.
Okay. The other one was Roy Williams, because I didn't know, but he didn't win one since 2009. So,
you know who popped in my head when I was given this question? Calhoun was my second answer. My first answer was Gary Williams of Maryland.
I didn't even think about him.
But he wasn't. So.
Coach K in 2015, I thought about 2, but I was, oh, man, yeah, Calhoun was old.
You just took a commanding lead.
3
birdie or bogey.
Yeah,
I'm in trouble.
Well,
I haven't got birdie yet.
I don't think you have.
I haven't.
I think that might be my first one of the year. I think I've got a par or 2.
Yeah,
but
I think I've only got like 1 par.
you're a lot easier grader on me than I am you. So maybe I'll have to
I don't know.
loosen
I don't know. I
reins
feel
a
like
little
you lob me some softballs sometimes. I whiff. I swing and whiff. So
bit. We just overthink it.
we do.
I'm in shock that I got it,
I
but
wonder how we would do as a team.
I think if we put both
We
of our
got
brains
clever.
together, it'd be the scariest thing this world's ever seen. Um, and maybe we'd get lucky and be able to answer some correctly. But thanks for watching the Tan and J Man Show. We'll be back at it next Monday with another episode. Have a fantastic week, everybody.